What's up, everybody? So today we've got part 2 of the Goldymarg and Star Gaogaigar option set. So we've got a lot to get through today, so I'm not going to waste any time, so let's go. Okay, so where we left off in part 1 was we had just transformed Goldymarg into the Goldie tank, or the tank form of Goldymarg. So actually, in order to transform him into the Goldion Hammer, it's actually quite easy from this point, because really the arms, how you do the arms for the tank mode and how you do the arms for the Goldion Hammer is pretty much the same. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start getting him ready for that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this here, we're gonna take these parts off, here and here. All right, we're gonna turn this over. All right, and then we're gonna unhook this, push that down, push that down. All right, that will unlock that part. We'll take that off. Okay, so as you can see, like how we did the arms in part 1, that's pretty much exactly how you want to keep him for this transformation. So actually, really all you have to do is kind of mess with the legs. So what we're going to do is we're going to unhook these two. All right, just like that. And we're going to take this off of that hinge, just like that. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna pull this part out. What he's got is he's got a swing bar for his hips where his legs are connected, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to open this up real quick, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna push this down like that. And then pretty much how you're gonna do this is once we kind of fiddle with the legs here, all right, and we kind of have him in that mode like that, to where this is his waist, all right, and so that's totally out of this part here, all right. So what you're gonna do, and actually we'll go ahead and get him ready on this other side as well. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna close this down, and then you're gonna bring it like this. We're actually gonna take the fist and we're gonna push this up like that there. And then you're gonna bring this over. And then what we're actually gonna do, we actually need to change the wheels back. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna find this, all right, and we're gonna spin that way. All right. So we'll do that on this side as well, but I have to wait until this is done here. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take this, and there's this hole right here, and this is gonna actually go in here. So that'll actually lock into place like that. All right, so like just like that. And we're gonna do the same with the other side, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this, push that leg forward. All right, we're gonna push this down. All right, and we're gonna close this up. And you're gonna push this down like this. And you're gonna make sure that that hole matches up there. So that hole goes in just like that. And then we'll put it in back in on this side. And just like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna lock these together. And then actually what I'll do, because I almost forgot, take this, spin the wheel. Matter of fact, let's unhook this real quick. There we go, spin that wheel back. All right. All right, we got them back together. I think we've got the holes where we want them. Looks like it. And then, so let's just match this side up, and then we'll close that together. Boom. Okay, so that is Goldion Hammer, right? So you can actually take these arms out, or these fingers out. These are articulated fingers, and they do have the problems that articulated fingers have. So pretty much what happens is a lot of times they'll come out of socket if you mess with them too hard. And then in order to actually hold the Goldion Hammer, he's actually going to have to pull this out, and that can be a little bit tricky, but we'll save that for a little bit later. So now that that's ready to go, we're actually going to do Star Gaogaigar. So let's get into that. All right, so before we actually put this on Gaogaigar, we kind of have to get the Stealth Gao II ready. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over, and it's pretty much exactly how we left it last time. And what we're gonna do, I gotta get my hand in here. All right, pop that up there. And then we're gonna pull this out. All right, because this is in there pretty good. Okay, just to show that part there. Now, what you've got here is we can actually pull the wings out. All right, just like that. And then you can actually move them back if you want, but we'll kind of do that for now. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work on these engines here. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'll fold that back for the time being. And then we're going to take this over and we're going to open this up here. We almost got it. All right, there we go. So we're going to open this up. And we're gonna have it to where this part here is actually showing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna fold this in on itself, just like that. Now, in the process of doing this, if these green pieces can come off, they're actually connected to this gray piece up here. And so what you'll do, so if those fall off, don't freak out or anything. You can still put those back on. So we're going to do that with this side as well. And the Stealth Gao II is actually pretty big to mess with. So there's actually an easier way to do this. I'm just kind of doing this. You can put it on a stand. That'll actually make it a lot easier. All right, what we're going to do is fold that in. All right, and then we're going to close this back up. All right, and then let's do that. So the same rules apply to before. There we go. So we close that up like that there. And now we're going to do this side as well. So now he's ready to go. And I do have the wings open, so we've got that just like that. And we're actually going to take this back part here, and this actually will open as well. So, all right, so that opens just like that. Okay, now we've got the mane. So really all we're missing is the head. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this part here, and we're actually going to push this down. So push that down just like that. Flip this back over. So you have this little part here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to push this in, and then this is actually going to clamp right there. Okay, so that's important. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this adapter piece. Now this is actually for the stand. Okay, I'm going to take this adapter piece and we're going to put it right in there. So you can have that there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take the mask from Gaogaigar, and then that goes right up here, just like that. Okay, so now he's ready to go. So now we will get Gaogaigar out, and we'll put this on. All right, so now that we've got the Stealth Gao II already. I found that the easiest way to put Gaogaigar on here is if you have this on the stand, because the Stealth Gao II is so heavy. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring Gaogaigar out here, and he is bodiless. You got Gaigar, so you can kind of see him. So what I'm gonna do is we're actually gonna do his arms first, because that'll probably be the easiest one to do. So what we're gonna do is take this off of the Stealth Gao. What we're gonna do, all right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna get this ready. So we will, I'll bring that in a little bit closer. All right, so what we're gonna do is open this up here real quick, flip this out. And really it's the same as the Pose Plus Gaogaigar, so it's not really any different. It's just that we've got some putting on a different backpack and stuff. So this goes down in here. All right, okay, so we've got one arm in. Let's pull this other one off. All right, put that in. So there is his arms. All right, and then for this, what we're gonna do, we're gonna kind of back him up into this. So this can be a little tricky, but it shouldn't be too bad. All right, so he goes just like that. All right, now we can move this. He's got his manes falling off, but that's okay. So what we do, we'll put the mane back on here. All right, have that all up the way that it's supposed to be. Put this one, bring this around. All right, and then make sure that that is correct. All right, he's got these slots on the side, so he goes like that. Open the mouth, and then we just put the head on. So now the thing is with this, this is always the part of Gaogaigar I don't really like, because it's kind of connected like this, so that limits his mobility as far as his head is concerned. But we do get it to work. So let's put it all the way down there. There we go. Now we got him. All right. All right, so let's get him looking correctly. It looks like I'm gonna have a lot of work to do as far as editing is concerned. All right. All right, so there he is, Star Gaogaigar. Now, actually, he can stand without the stand. It's just easier to put him on here with the stand since the thing is so heavy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift him up. We're gonna remove the stand. Okay, so we did get him to stand without the stand. Now, even though he does have strong ankles, he does have a tendency to try to want to lean back, and that's just due to the heaviness of the Stealth Gao II. So, so you can have him stand without it, but I probably wouldn't recommend it, especially if you're going to put him in like a DTOF cabinet or anything like that. Okay, so now that Star Gaogaigar is all together, let's actually go through some of his accessories that are specific to Star Gaogaigar. All right, so now just for doing this video, I'm gonna keep him on the stand, even though for this stand, I don't really like it. The fact that it's not adjustable, it does make him a little wobbly. So, and that could be a problem. So anyway, first things first, what we're gonna do is, cause he can do the broken phantom, right? So what it is, I gotta take off this ring here. So let me take this off. Let me open this up here. Slide this out. All right, so pull that out. And then what we're gonna do, get his arm, face that up just like that. take this phantom ring, and of course in the show it would spin just like that. That is the broken phantom. So next we're actually going to do the Gatling driver. So what I did is I got out my old dividing driver. So all you got to do really is pull this one out and put the Gatling driver in. You just have to make sure that this lines up real quick while I'm dropping it. Yeah. All right, so that's what it looks like there. Get that to focus there. And then of course you can open this as well. So in order to put it on, we're actually going to use his left arm. And so what we're going to do, just like you had with the phantom ring on the other side, he's got a little hook here. And then all you have to do is kind of lock this in place. So you've got this part here. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Yeah, so you got this yellow part here. So all that does is that cooks in here, and then you've got to lock it in place. So what you would do is just take that, and then we're going to take his arm, his hand off, because yeah, we don't need that. So we'll put that in there, and then we'll line those 4 spots up, and then lock that in place. And that is your Gatling driver. All right, so let's get Gaogaigar ready for the Goldion Hammer. So first things we're gonna need to do, to be honest, he kind of transforms exactly how he did in the show. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna pull this off. All right, and then we're gonna fold this back in. Let's open this up here. Put this fist back in here. Clamp that back down. And all right, and then that goes right back on this hook here on the Stealth Gao II. Let's get him in there. So that goes back this way. Okay, so now we're just gonna turn his arm this way. So what you've got is you've got this piece here. All right, and then let me grab the arm here. And so with this part, you've got this part here. So all you need to do is actually kind of match that up and put it in there. So it should go the way that I've got it. Let me see if I can move this over a little bit better. And it should go. Now this is extremely heavy, but it does hold. I'm not gonna lie. Does it go in that? It goes, all right, it goes in the other way, I think. Okay. So you put that in there. Turn that, and that is the Goldion Hammer. So can he actually hold it? He can, right? But of course, because it's so big, it's going to want to droop down. But for the most part, he can hold it, you know, so you can have it that way. Now we'll get out the Goldion Hammer. Let me grab that real quick. All right, so for the Goldion Hammer, let me push this back here. So for the Goldion Hammer, we just have to get this set. This actually isn't that hard. You could actually leave it just like this because he has 2 different ways, right? So you can go and do this and lift that up, or you can have it to where it's done like this. And this is probably the way that I'm gonna do it. So you would flip that out like that, and then you would take this, push this back in. All right, let's make sure those sides go in right. Pull that down, there we go. Just like that. And then what you'll do is you push that all the way in, and then this will lock on top here. So if you don't want to actually use the Goldion face, Goldymarg face, you can actually use that one. So you've got that there. So, all right, and then all you're gonna need to do, you're gonna just extend this real quick. So we already pulled this out. All right, and then you're gonna pull that down. You're gonna take this, that goes in, and then you're gonna lock it in place. Okay, and then we will put this back in place. Just like that. Where's the other one? All right, and we'll do that. All right, now there is one thing that I need to show you with the hand before we put this on. And what it is you can see it from the side here, is this piece here. This is actually what he's going to use to actually hold the Goldion Hammer. Now, the thing is, you have to pop that out, and it is extremely, extremely tight. And I don't really have nails or anything, so we're gonna try our best here to pull this out. And you gotta pull it out all the way because this can actually turn. So what I'm gonna do actually, is I'm gonna take one of my skewers here, and we're gonna see if I can pop this out all the way. All right. And I think that's pretty much out all the way. And then this, it can turn if you've got it out all the way. But that can be a little bit difficult, but you can have it at an angle. So I'll tell you what, let me do that off the camera and I'll do it right after this break. Okay, so now that I got it popped out all the way, and all I had to do, I had to use this. You have to use something that's pretty sturdy to pull that out because that's in there really good and tight. So, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the Goldion Hammer here and that little notch there, and then what you're gonna do is you can actually move this down or up so you can actually have it anyway, but that is a really tight thing. So I usually just do it at an angle like that. And then what we're gonna do is take this and slide it in. All right, hopefully the thumb doesn't get in the way. All right, just like that. And then of course he does have articulated fingers. I forgot to mention that, but yeah. And it has the problems that articulated fingers have. They usually will fall off at the joints here at the bottom. So just be careful with that. But you can do that, and then you can hold the thumb there. And there you have it. Now, he actually does have a stand, and he actually can hold it pretty well, okay? But, you know, it's heavy. So just be cognizant of that. So, but he can lift it. All right. And hopefully that doesn't do anything crazy, but it is extremely heavy. So, and as you see, it just wants to, even though that's on a ratchet, that it just wants to go down because of that weight. So, but that's what you've got for the Goldion Hammer. And let's see if I can get the little place out so we can actually have that standing correctly. Now, one of the pieces that they actually have for this, so you can actually hold it, is this little adapter piece here. And all that does is go in at the base of the stand. And what that'll do, you can actually put the Goldion Hammer in there. So I'll tell you what, why don't we do that? So I just put it in there. Then that slides in, boom, holds it just like that. So that's what you've got for the Goldion Hammer. Now, of course, he can do the Hammer Hell, Hammer Heaven. You can have that out if you like. So all he would do, let's put this back together real quick. So this will go in here like that. All right, we'll put the Zonder core in there. I'm not supposed to squeeze it in there like that, but that's usually how I put it in there because I'm not gonna do this too often. So there's your Zonder core. So of course, for Hammer Hell, you would have to do this. So actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off. All right, just so I can show it to you because it'll be a little bit easier. All right, so turn his arm that way. And then you would pull this out here. And then you could pull this off. And then you would pull that out and push this in. And then I don't have these articulated hands, but you could have it to where he's grabbing this side here. So you could grab that like he's pulling it out. And then once he does that, you can actually take this part here, right? And you would actually pull this off and you would put this in here. And then you can actually have, this will actually swivel a little bit from left to right. So it will give you a little bit of room to maneuver it with, but you can have it in there just like that. And actually, I think he would be pulling it out like this. You know, so you can do the hammer hell, you can reenact that. I've found that it doesn't like to do that when I when I have it that other way, but you are supposed to be able to do it. So, but you've got it like that. So that's what you've got for his accessory. So yeah, that is the Goldion Hammer. So now we'll get into final thoughts. So last thoughts on this guy. Man, I must say, he does look amazing. Goldymarg by himself was actually a lot better than I thought he would be. I think that the Stealth Gao II was really well put together. I do believe that if you're gonna go ahead and spend 400, I think I spent 450, which is actually the price of Gaogaigar, as I was saying in the beginning. Even though it is overpriced, I would say go ahead and just, if you're gonna spend 450, you might as well just shell out the extra $100 and get the lighting effect. It's not personally my thing, but I'm just looking at it from a collector's point of view. You might as well get it. Now there are some things that I like about this and some things that I don't like. What I do like, I think that Goldymarg was very well put together. Like the Goldion Hammer is pretty gaudy. It's really, really big. It always has been. It was big in the show. It's big in most of the renditions that I've seen, whether it was the Super Robot Chogokin, the Solar Chogokin, or even this Pose Plus. So unfortunately, there's no getting around that. Now, it does have some limitations. That arm with Goldymarg is extremely heavy. Now, the arm itself is fine, but once you put the Goldion Hammer on it, then it becomes extremely heavy. I think that, unfortunately, I don't think that there's going to be a better way to have done it. So I think that Pose Plus did the best that they can. As you can see, he can stand without the actual stand, but you're gonna have to support it with the Goldion Hammer. If you notice, I have the Goldion Hammer kind of like on the rotating base, and that's kind of propping him up because it is so heavy. One of the things that I really don't like as well is the stand. I think that the stand is it's a half-hearted stand. I think that, especially now looking at the Good Smile Great Dagarn GX stand, and that stand was only $55, and the fact that you can have all the armaments in it. This stand, I don't like it at all. I think that you can't adjust it. I don't even think that it holds the Stealth Gao II all that good, especially once Gaogaigar is kind of formed and put on there. I've had a lot of problems with him actually falling off just because it doesn't get that support little brace thing that it has in there. I don't think it can support all this weight. I think that they should have maybe either had a bigger one, or maybe you'd had to redesign the stand altogether. So I think that is a low point for this. The green plastic parts do come apart. If they fall or whatever. I have had that happen off camera to where a lot of those things have fallen out. Now they can be easily put back on, but it is a little bit cumbersome. So you do have to be cognizant of that. But other than that, I think it looks great. From what I thought that the Goldion Hammer would look like, I think it looks amazing. I don't really have any complaints with that. But I do believe that it is overpriced. $450 for even this, and then if you're going to get the lighting set, $550, that's too much. I think it's about $100 too expensive. I think that even though Goldymarg is very good, I think you could have sold that in the Goldion Hammer for $350 or even $300, and I think that would have been fair. Now, the Stealth Gao II is extremely big, and I do understand all the engineering that went into it, especially with the lighting effect and stuff. But that's also another reason why I don't really care for lighting effects personally. It's just they cost too much in order to try to implement. I think out of 10, what am I going to give this? I'm going to give it a 9. I think that overall, it's very well put together considering how big and bulky it is. The fact that it actually works and works relatively well, I think is very, very impressive. But I do think it's a little expensive. So that also the stand was just so half-hearted to me. I'm kind of disappointed in that because he really needs a stand because he's extremely heavy. The joints on Gaogaigar, like, I don't know if it'll truly support all of this weight over time. It does now, but over time, I don't know if it's still going to be able to hold up. But I think overall, it's still a very well and very crafted, good figure. Now, you know, combined with Gaogaigar and the option set, you know, you're pushing almost $900. So this is, you know, this is for your diehards yet again. If you don't want to spend that, the Super Robot Shogoken is a lot cheaper. Now, granted, it doesn't look as intricate as this, but, you know, I think that that is a viable option. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.